てめえのつけば金では払えねえぜ。
They always ask why the pigeon has coffee, and I don't know why. For the past 35 years, many webcomics have been created and published on many different websites and mobile apps. There are many types of webcomics that exist, such as comedy, romance, and my personal favorite, adventure comics. However, there is one webcomic that stands out from the West, a webcomic unlike any other webcomic out there, a webcomic simply known as Bearfelf. But what exactly is Bearfelf? Bearfelf is a webcomic created by a man named Joe David that was first shared onto Instagram in December of 2017. The comic started out as a Garfield parody, but as time went on and new comics were made, Bearfelf slowly created a name for himself, and the lore of Bearfelf is expanding as time passes. The comic primarily focuses around Bearfelf and Josh's crazy antics that ensue throughout the series. For example, in one comic, Bearfelf might travel to another planet to take part in a competition between other bears like him. In another, he might be fighting against some weird guy that was stuck inside a punching bag. The whole comic is just that bizarre, but in a way, I actually really enjoy it. I just feel that there will never be another webcomic like Bearfelf in its lifetime. Now what if I told you there was a game that was made based on Bearfelf? Enter Bearfelf Game, a free game that was released on Game Jolt on January 8th, 2019. The game is a Donkey Kong Country inspired platformer, and it even says it on the game page itself. But what about the game's plot? The game starts off with Bearfelf's rival Abdul coming back after being blown up by Bearfelf's rocket launcher. Abdul says that with the help of government technology, he was able to be brought back to life, and states that he will be partaking in the Big Cool-Off, where the winner is declared the coolest in the world. Unfortunately, Bearfelf's been having any of this, so he decides to enter the Big Cool-Off himself, and in order to keep his status as coolest person he knows, he has to take what I think is steroids. I'm not even lying, that's Bearfelf comedy right there. Bearfelf eventually becomes this giant unsettling monster. Oh god, oh my god, that is horrifying. Instead of heading to the Big Cool-Off normally with Josh, he just goes to the backyard, and thus, the journey begins. The game has a total of 4 different levels: Backwoods Bamboozle, Saltwater Sesh, Sahara Spur, and then the Big Cool-Off. Each level has their own unique gimmick assigned to them, with the exception of the first 2 levels. They're just normal levels. So why don't we just review them all? Backwoods Bamboozle is a simple introduction stage that's pretty simple to understand. It's meant to help introduce new players to the game's mechanics. Despite its simplicity though, I died a lot. Aside from that, I still think it's a nice challenge to begin the game. After the stage, a cutscene plays, where a sun bear is getting absolutely mauled by Bearfelf, and Bearfelf soon throws the sun bear off a cliff. Yay, death. Bearfelf! Forget that last line, let's move on to the next level. Saltwater Sesh is just the obligatory beach stage that just exists. I'll give it this though, I actually sorta like it. What I mean is that I'm glad I had such an easy time with this stage. It wasn't like the previous stage where before, I was dying on a continuous basis. This just feels like a breath of fresh air. I also have to say, I really like the background too, with all the fruit and stuff. I definitely think this is a major step up from the first level. While I do like challenges in my video games, I think too much challenge is pushing it a little bit. Unlike the previous stage, however, there's no cutscene at the end of the level, making it less rewarding. I guess easier difficulty always means less rewards. Whatever the case, let's just move on to the next level. Before the level begins, another cutscene plays, featuring Bill Gates for some reason.
Hey, it's me, Bill Gates.
As it turns out, he's actually offering to sell an Xbox to Bearfelf. Before Bearfelf can buy an Xbox, however, a news report plays stating that a giant monster made out of beans is attacking Europe. Eventually, Bill Gates gets shot by a green man. The green man tells Bearfelf that he's gonna miss the Big Cool-Off if he doesn't go soon. So Bearfelf decides to steal the green man's scooter.
Oi, basically I've just been bombed. Me so angry.
And and thus the level begins. The level itself is a vehicle stage. You have to dodge cacti and jump over roadblocks in order to complete the level. At any point you slip up, this happens. Once that level is done, you'll be on to the final level of the game, the big cool-off. After finally finishing all 3 levels up, you finally reach the big cool-off, the final level in the game. The level starts off with yet another cutscene showing Bearfelf finally arriving at the big cool-off. And then somehow he ends up in a Macarena battle against Abdul, don't ask me why. This Macarena battle is so cool in fact, that it blows the cool meter off the charts. But suddenly, the Bean Man shows up. Yes, that is actually his name, but I don't know why. The Bean Man then sends out his army of other Bean Men, which Bearfelf JoJo Bizarre Adventure style punches through them. Don't quote me on that. Finally, it all comes down to this. The final battle against Bean Man. You just jump on his head a bunch of times and boom, the game is over already. And with that, Bearfelf Game is officially over. Now, what do I think of Bearfelf Game? It's a fun little game. I like it. It's not too big, but it's pretty cool. Sadly, to any Bearfelf fans out there, the comic has been on hiatus because a new game is coming out called Bearfelf Strikers, I think it's called. The game seems pretty fun, and you should play it if you can. I haven't played it personally, but it seems like a fun game to play if it does ever release. This is probably one of the laziest endings to any video game review out there, but I just want to say thanks for watching this video game review. It took way too long to make because I was on hiatus a bit and I didn't know what to do. So yeah, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is. Alright, I'm done. Now what? Also, I really like how it's styled based on Donkey Kong Country for some reason. I just like that. All those little Donkey Kong Country-like details, it's pretty cool.